Okay, everybody, so everybody's got their dogs home. Hopefully you ordered your e-collars and you're starting to do the training. This e-collar is the Sport Dog 425. Some of you guys got Garmin's, which is fine. They both work the same. They all have a rotating dial of levels of intensity. They all have 3 or 4 buttons. This one happens to have a continuous, a nick, and a vibrate, which is what we use when we're using the 425. You wanna make sure before you put your collar on your dog, you turn it on. On this one, we actually turn it on by pushing the back button. And then I also, when I turn it on, push any button just to make sure I've got the connection between the two. The worst thing you can do is put it on your dog, think it's on, take them for a hike, and they bolt and you don't have it turned on. It can be a little troublesome then at that point. So what you're gonna do when you get your e-collar, it's got a buckle system on it. You're gonna put it around the dog's neck. You wanna put it on the side of the neck and not the esophagus. The manuals you guys are all gonna get in your boxes are gonna tell you the esophagus. You actually want the side of the neck. There's a muscle that runs along the neck that you get better reaction out of than the esophagus. And you can actually use a lower setting if you're on the side of the neck. Some of the collars have lower prongs and smaller prongs and higher prongs. If your dog's not reacting to those lower prongs, you can adjust them out, take them out and put the longer prongs on like this collar. So we know we have connection, we know we have our collar on, and so we're gonna put it on our dog, we're gonna put it on the side of the neck. We want 1 finger length between the collar of the dog and the neck. So if it's loose and these prongs can't touch, you're not gonna get any reaction out of the dog. If it's too tight, obviously they can't breathe, and that's a problem we don't want. So primarily what we're gonna use the e-collar for on our puppy right now is gonna be if they ignore a command. And so we're gonna ask the command. If they do it, great, don't use the collar. If you ask the command and they ignore it, then that's when we're gonna use the e-collar. So what we're gonna do is use it primarily for 3 commands. The first one's gonna be for here. So when we're working here, we always wanna start off with our base number as 1. You don't wanna be up to 5 and start off as a base number as that. You always want your base number to be 1. And what 1 is a level of stimulation that's delivering to the dog. So we have the collar on the neck. We're gonna use our continuous button for the dog. And what a continuous is continuous flow of stimulation till we let go of the button. So nick is gonna be short and just a little pulse, and then vibrate or your tone is gonna be obviously to page them. But we wanna make sure the dog understands that you can use the e-collar too. So you're gonna wanna do a couple practices with them through this and get them to make sure they know what's going on. So we're gonna have the e-collar set on 1. My dog's gonna be running around in my backyard or a park if you can get to one. And the dog's gonna be out. If you say here and they ignore you, what you're gonna do is say here, press the button, deliver the stimulation. When the dog turns and starts coming back to you, you're gonna let off. And when they come back to you, then you're gonna pet them. The idea being is we're not using the collar to deliver punishment, we're using it to use it as a remote leash. So if the dog had a leash on, we'd pull it and say here and bring them back to us. So what we're gonna do it again. So the dog goes out, you say here, they ignore you, push 1, it delivers to the dog, they ignore you, you're gonna go to 2. If they ignore you on 2, you're gonna go to 3. They ignore you on 3, you're gonna go 4, etc. Make sure if you have to stimulate your dog on 4 and they come back to you, you reset back down to 1. Generally, the first 5 minutes of any workout, your dog's gonna be wound up and you're gonna have a higher stimulation rate than if you're at 10 minutes into a workout and they're listening to you. So that's here. If you're working that and you have any questions, email me, obviously. The next one we're gonna use it for is gonna be to turn. So what we wanna do, if we're walking and you're doing your 10 and 2 drills and you turn right and the dog wants to continue going left, on your continuous button, you're gonna double tap and turn, and the dog will turn and follow you that direction. That goes back to the 10 or 2 drills we did at the starting of the training to get the dog used to the pressure on their neck and turning with us with a low lead. So again, to turn, what we're gonna do, you're hiking, you turn right and your dog keeps going left, you're gonna double tap continuous, that cues their neck to turn and come with you, and then you continually walking. You don't want them coming back to you all the way, you just want them to turn with you because it's a turn command, not a here command. The third one we're gonna use it for is gonna be for jumping up on you. So if you have your collar on your dog and they go to jump up on you, you're gonna press the button, say down, it'll bring the dog down and then let off. And again, pat him after you deliver the stimulation to him. So anytime we're using the e-collar to do a correction, we wanna make sure that we pet them, let them know they're safe, let them know the collar is not an enemy, it's just a remote leash that we're out working them for. If you're having problems or concerns with the e-collar, go ahead and email me and we can do a lesson over online how to use the e-collar, any concerns you have. Generally for the first couple days they're home, I have the e-collar on. every time they're out of the crate around the house. If they go to jump up on a counter, you can use the down command. If they're going back to bad puppy habits, you can use your collar to correct those. The other thing, so you guys know, is if you're going hiking and you're gonna go out for a walk with your dog, generally your first 100 yards of a hike, you're gonna have more correction statistically than a whole hike. So make sure you have your collar on, your collar set, and you're familiar with it, because that first 100 yards, especially as they're home and getting used to being home, they're gonna test where they can push boundaries and not turn, push boundaries and get out too far. But again, if your dog's doing everything fine and obeying commands, great. We're gonna use this as a backup leash that's remote if they're ignoring the commands. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any problems. I can talk to you guys about your dogs. Thanks.